keep his hopes alive.
Oh, absolutely. Alright, we're getting our start. Both players starting. We got one at Link's house for 300 rupees, and Kohrek's going to start in Sanctuary for the key for the sewer.
It's a nice piece of knowledge to know the keys. Likely to have an item in that dark chest. We've got a map check. I saw a green pendant at Desert Palace, blue crystal at Tower of Hera. I missed.
See if I can catch it.
It was blue pendant.
Blue pendant, yep. So we got 2 pendants in the light world.
Ooh, nice full magic for the tree pole. And Dustin immediately going to get his sword.
Uncle had a sword. Who would have thought? Oh, 4 bombs from the crab.
That's also very handy.
Alright, we're gonna have no illusions about what's going on with Aghanim. It's just a full heart container.
So egg is not needed for that item, but it still might be needed to progress.
Yeah, still on the table for Dark World access, and you still have to clear it to win the game.
It just means they can put it off a little bit more. So Dustin decided to go through Escape with his sword. Ooh, but the boots in the Lost Woods area.
Yeah, that's going to be a beautiful thing to see this early. That's just all the extra mobility you need. Speed everything up just that fraction.
And more bombs.
Now, Dustin's going to go ahead and try to get as far through this as possible. We know that you can't make it past the Dark Cross because of where the key's at. But we'll have to see if anything of value pops out of down here towards Zelda Cell.
Meanwhile, Kohrek's gonna go check Bonk Rocks first. That's a good play before going back to the Kakariko to do all the item dense locations.
Yeah, it's pretty solid routing. Get it out of the way, especially when it's another sword.
Yeah, that's a good placement for a sword for him. So we found the map, so now we know the Dark Cross has an item. Well, we know Dustin doesn't know yet, because he didn't find the key in Sanctuary.
Yeah, he's not going to have an idea yet, but he'll find out soon. Kohrek's going to see what Blind's stolen today. A lot of love. Fairy in a bottle. A little bit of love. A little bit more love.
Blind just wanted some love.
Nearly synchronized full heart pickup, so yeah. 2.5 heart containers for Kohrek and a fairy in a bottle. Now the fairy in the bottle at least is going to give access to Sick Kid, more just nice routing, getting everything in Cat out on one pass.
I think the even nicer would be if he finds Flute before he leaves, so he can activate it while he's...
Well, there's one medallion. More explosives now. Chat brings up a good point. Kohrek's running into a little bit of a money problem here. Still needs 10 more. Can probably find it in one of these last couple locations.
Yeah, more than likely, Chicken Hut, Bottle Vent, Sick Kid, or Back of the Bar will have some rupee. If not, he can just drop down the well one more time to get the 10.
Bombs in the Chicken Hut. The chickens are terrorists.
Well, when you do attack them enough, they attack you, so...
That's true.
Kind of makes sense.
Self-defense. There we go. Everyone's just giving Kohrek a little bit of love today.
Last chance for rupees in a poll, otherwise he'll have to go farm 10 more. Nope, just 10.
Now it's going to be interesting to see if he decides to maybe just do another well drop real quick, which would be the faster method, or if he decides to go in for the 30 in Blind's Hut. Nope, just going to take the drop for the 10 or 15 here.
Realizes he could just get the 2 pots here for the 10 he needs.
Yeah, realizes that without Dark World access, he doesn't need any more rupees for a while, and is so far off from Zora that it's not worth it. And we get a second medallion. The bottle vendor's a quack dealer. Somebody call the guards.
So that's probably nice in their minds. 2 medallions this early. The likelihood of being locked out of Turtle Rock and Misery Mire right away is pretty low.
Oh, we got a glove upgrade in the library. That's nice with those boots.
So pretty nice opening for these guys. Very generous with the items. I wonder when it's gonna stop being generous.
Yeah, the only problem here is that the generosity is kind of limited because you've gotten 2 medallions which are only situationally useful.
And then same with the boots and the gloves. They don't unlock too much. The gloves only right now unlock Zora. Although that would be annoying to get to.
Yeah, but now they got a little bit of money since Kohrek picked up the family inheritance from his house.
He's going to go pick up his Master Sword.
I mean, seriously, Uncle, how do you fail at killing some guards when you have the Master Sword? Alright, so Dustin's got his dual medallions going on. Kohrek's going to be a little bit faster through here because he has the boots going through.
Whether he'll do the same as Dustin and just check up to the cell, he'll probably then save and quit to Sanctuary and then check the back of escape with his...
Yeah, I think if you're going to go ahead and check the Dark Cross, it's probably faster to check her from the other direction.
Even if you don't check Dark Cross, it probably still just to clear up most of these items, save and quit to back of
Yeah, 6 hearts is going to be a lot faster than trying to hug a green guard for a half a heart at a time. So we're looking for Hammer and Moonport, or less unfortunately would be the Lamp. We need the Moonport for both, though.
Although Lamp would open up a little bit in the mountains, so that's not a terrible thing to find.
Yeah, it's 2 checks and a hint. It's not the most ideal thing. You ideally would prefer to have at least a mirror, if not the hook shot.
Oh, for sure. But at least getting access to that just to verify whether there is more items.
Alright, Kohrek gilling the green card. This is going to be a save and quit after. Alright, moment of truth here on our back of escape. $10 sticks, 20 sticks, Fisher Price shield.
Nothing terribly useful.
Alright, looks like Dustin's gonna go ahead and sequence break. I completely agree with it. From this way, it's not difficult at all. You just gotta kill a key rat.
And Kohrek's gonna follow.
Yeah, Dustin, pretty good job. Got the key rat down. Oh, I like this. Kohrek just ethering down all the rats.
That's not a bad plan.
At least it would be if you could find the door. So, Kohrek's having a little bit of trouble. I think the door has disappeared on him. Oh, there it is.
No, there it is, yeah. And we saw on Dustsen's side it was just 20 rupees. Good for them to find it now, but nothing terribly.
Yeah. So, the play's going to be South Shore. We're going to have to see what direction they go. Nope, Dustin looks like he's opted for Eastern and the Chaz's coat closet. Answering chat, second sword is in the bonk rocks.
A little bit surprising Dustin didn't check that wall. He had the boots that early, but he'll probably get there.
It's just one of the small things in routing, though. You know, it's just your routing can be just that hair better. You get that, you have that heads up plan, think, oh, I just got the boots. I can run out here and check bonk rocks real quick and not have to worry about them later.
But at the same time, maybe saving them for later, you can get all three at once, which might save a little bit of time. Nothing is really will be known until we get a little bit farther. But this I like this play from Kohrek. It's the standard play. Get the South Shore check done. A lot of items here.
Yeah, I mean you can get what 7 items, 8 if you count items. Then if you're gonna fake flipper, you can get 3, maybe 4. You can find an ice rod for instance.
Again, not unlocking really anything, but it's a nice find. It at least means you don't have to look for that later. But yeah, with the boots, Ice Rod Cave, it seems like a good play from here. Get that one item location out of.
Not only that, maybe Kohrek can set up the secondary water walk from the Ice Rod Cave, so he can get access into the waterfall ferry.
That'd be pretty good. I'm not sure how much people or these two runners like to sequence break. Whether they feel that's a good plan to make just for the 2 items there, or whether they want to stick relatively close to the logic. Dark rooms are a different matter. It's pretty easy for these 2 runners.
He's setting it up.
Moon Pearl in Eastern Palace, though.
Yep. Makes this a little bit of a moot point, but it's still useful.
We found a secret hint that's a secret to everybody.
Nothing on the Lake Hylia Island heading to Hobo.
We had found the all-magical single arrow in Eastern Palace.
Hey, it's good to have that out of the pool. So, Kohrek's going to go ahead and just take a save and quit there.
Looks like he'll go to Eastern. Yep, get his Moon Pearl.
So at this point, the progression looks to be either on Zora or Agata, depending on what this last chest in Eastern is. Even though it is out of logic.
Yeah, it's out of logic, unless one of those 2 items that you had just mentioned was the lamp, in which case this would be in logic. But just 10 bombs.
Alright, chat. You got your 50-50. What do you think?
I know I personally would check Agina first, because farming up the last 100, 200 rupees would be annoying. But if the seed wants to be annoying, it'll put it at Zora, making us farm money.
No, you're absolutely the correct play here, because what you do is you go over, you check Agana. If Agana fails, since you have the power gloves, you have the little hidden thief there with the, like, 10 pots that you can farm super quick to get the rest of your Zora money. And with the Moon Pearl, you can also do a normal fake flipper and check the Waterfall Fairy as well.
Oh yeah, that seems like the logical play, but it's still annoying to have to farm up the extra rupee.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's super annoying. That's why, to be perfectly honest, that again, I'm not in this tournament. This could be one of the reasons. My first play in open mode, 100%, is Sanctuary straight into Houlihan.
Yeah, I've seen that in other races, but that's usually with different modes where it's more likely you'll need the extra money, or it's you want the guaranteed one.
Cough, retro, cough.
Yeah, that's a big one. I saw both runners in the Randomizer race I did yesterday do Houlihan at a slightly different time. Yep, so Dustin's going to be on his way to Ice Rod Cave.
Yep, he's going to do Ice Rod Cave, and then he'll come out of Ice Rod Cave, probably just do a standard fake flipper. Maybe they just go ahead and do the dash fake flipper and then reverse fake flipper out of Hobo.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the runners like to do.
Exactly. It comes down to runner preference at this point, and what they know as far as tricks and what they don't know.
Kohrek also deciding to do the dark room, vanilla dark room. They're usually pretty good with this. Figures for the one at last item check, it's not a bad thing to do.
So Dustin's gonna go to Zora. He is farming the rupees right now, 20 at a time.
It's not a bad play. He was only 100 off, so coming in here 5 times. Kohrek starting in Sanctuary. This is either going up to the mountain for a sequence break, or nope, looks like he's gonna do Houlihan.
Yep, he's gonna do the back of escape Houlihan setup. So what he's gonna do is gonna push us out of the way, set a bomb to knock his position on screen off, the fall down the hole, and now the game doesn't know where to put him, so plop, have some rupees. Alright, so Dustin sets up the Helia Water Walk and check Hobo. Kohrek's gonna set it up from Mini Moldorm? I'll be honest, I wasn't aware you could set that up from that cave.
I'm not very familiar with the water walking setup, so it's nice to see, though.
Yeah, saving them just 2 quick screen transitions here. Oh! Okay. We have a flipper-locked mirror.
It's an interesting bit of knowledge, but with that mirror, they can sequence break up Death Mountain even more.
Oh yeah, that opens Hera right now, but you don't have a fire source for it. Let's see what Zora has first, and then you can make some determinations. Okay, never mind, there's Dark World.
Yep, so it looks like Zora was the play. They just basically completely skipped Agina, or Agina.
Yeah, Agina's gonna just have to sit there and be lonely in this cave for a little. Kohrek has Hype Cave on the brain.
It makes sense. Hype Cave has the 5 quick item checks, and then if he wants to continue, he can either go up to Pyramid area, or he can just do the south area first, all the way to the dig game.
Yeah, let's see if the cave points us anywhere. Real quick, we have 5, 6 at Turtle Rock and Mire, and I believe the other crystal was Pod, or the pendant was Pod.
Yep, red pendant was Pod. Hype Cave with our lantern and flippers.
Okay, so the mirror's back in logic, so that was a small sequence break. Oh, I like... Kohrek's gonna go ahead and check the hen. I'm a liar.
Slightly faster to come down here and lift the rock than it is to go up. But with the mirror, he'll at least be able to check this cave south of the grove.
So you can go ahead and pick that 50 up because he's still in the range where he needs rupees. I think that actually is going to put him right up at the point where he's going to be needs 220 to finish off all of the possible requirements left, being key, digging, and chest. So we've got just, you know, a few seconds separating our runners at the moment here.
It's pretty indicative of this grouping. They're pretty close in terms of skill, each taking a race off each other. Ooh, 2 dig for 20. I'm sure they're happy. It was a nice fast dig game.
Alright, so Kohrek's gonna mirror over, come straight up, and then come into the Dark World again, this time from the Outcast side.
That's a good play. It's a nice quick transition to continue checking the multiple items. And then while you're here, you've got all the items needed for Thieves Town. You can just knock that one out of the...
Yeah, absolutely. That's why Kohrek's not as ahead, even though he does have Masters. The stuff that they have access to is either going to be just as fast with a hammer, or it's going to be null and non-existent, like blind taking damage from any sword.
On the other hand, once Dustsen also does this area, he's in a perfect position to basically do that north area, the Bonk Rocks, mirrored to Graveyard Ledge, and then do King's Tomb. So he'll get the Master Sword pretty soon after that.
Yeah. Alright, Can of Brian. That's going to give us Spike Cave access.
I forget if it still requires a bottle or half magic for that, or whether it just considers the cape / Burna as the only requirement.
It's not 100% clear. I usually say as long as there's an invincibility, it should be in logic, but they've got a bottle anyway.
Yeah, so even if they decide not to use the invincibility, the bottle with the fairy, they've got enough hearts with that.
Yeah, he's got 9, Fairy Revival 7, 16. You need 14 to get through. Alright, so Dustin's going to go ahead and check Skullwoods instead for the 2 items in here. And is rewarded with the flute, but Kohrek finds Tempered.
I mean, both good finds.
Yeah, now the sword advantage is important.
Not so much in Thieves Town, like you said, but as he gets the other bosses, the longer Dustin takes to find that sword in Bonk Rocks, the better off Kohrek's going to be for most of the other bosses. And just generic enemies that they have to face along the way.
Yeah, for example, this turns almost all the rest of these enemies in Thieves Town from 2 hits to 1 hit. Alright, Kohrek's gonna get the Thieves Town hint. Let's see what we got. Thanks, game.
It's nice seeing this room as vanilla. Yesterday in Randomizer, all those spikes on the left side were the big yellow spike.
Yeah, that room seems to like Crushers a lot in Randomizer. Oh, yoink.
Not a great grab from Dustin, but he didn't get taken.
We got Powder in Thieves Town.
That's an interesting find.
Yeah, it'll open up Magic Bat.
Yeah, you're in the area. It's not a bad play. You might want to hope for being able to do something more in that area, but it's not a bad play to do.
Yeah. You're definitely hoping you have the mitts first, but if you can check something, you can check it. Alright, Dustin piecing out, checked all he could. He's going to come up here and check Bumper Ledge first, it looks like.
Ooh, but the hook shot, that's a really good one.
Okay, I think the excess of value was now officially in Thieves. Because that gives us our access to East F Mountain. Well, we already had it, but it gives it easier access to East F Mountain.
Dustin's now getting his Master Sword from Bonk Rocks. We'll likely check Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb right after this.
Yeah, you can still be sitting pretty if you find something in one of these 2 locations. Especially if we get something a little on the unorthodox and upsetting side, like, say, Titans and King's Tomb.
That'd be an interesting find. Correct, so far on a very nice script from Blind. And just as I say that, he takes a couple hits, but with the amount of hearts that they have, pretty easy fight.
Yep, gets himself 10 skewers and his first crystal. Oh no, Dustin!
Okay, that might play into the race. How long is it going to take him to come back to this one item location?
He might just check it out of pure tilt first right now, just to make sure it's not Orphan.
I mean, I would. Some runners, once they skip an item like that, even by accident, they're done. Forgetting he doesn't have mitts, tries to come up there, so yeah, he seems like he's already a little bit tilted about.
So, Dustin accidentally jumped off of the Light World Graveyard Ledge instead of going back in his portal and couldn't get into King's Tomb. Alright, Kohrek's gonna go ahead and check the Magic Bat. He says, why not? I'm already here.
Yeah, it's a good play. Just get the item location out of the way.
Something, something, you woke me up. I curse you with... $20.
I mean, $20 is not that bad of a curse. Who wouldn't like someone giving them $20?
I mean, I don't want to be cursed, but $20 is $20.
Correct, checking Sea House.
Yeah, Dustin at least going to get the max value out of this. He's going to probably do all of the get Village of Outcasts out of the way before going and correcting that issue over at King's Tomb.
So does Kohrek go up to Skullwoods, or does he just skip over to this other side? So far to the other side, so he'll be leaving the flute for a little bit.
Yeah, but he's got a lot he can do without the flute.
Oh yeah, for sure. And realistically, it only unlocks Mire area, which they would need the mitts for anyway.
Yeah, they've already got the lamp. It's a little bit slower on the ascent, but it's not too bad. It would just mostly make routing a little bit smoother overall, especially since they already have the mirror. Alright, so Kohrek should go ahead and show us what Dustin had missed.
Hopefully it's not anything too good for Dustin's sake. Nope, just 20 bucks.
Yep, so Dustin catches a break there. Doesn't need to go back and check it. Might still anyway, but is in the clear. Alright, Kohrek with a save and quit to Link's house. This is going to be a pyramid and maybe a pod dip.
Could be an interesting play. I mean, unless he goes really crazy and decides to do Swamp with the flippers and hookshot.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do Swamp. He's got 6 items available. I just realized he's got all his items. This is gonna be in and out.
I know most people like to go mode Swamp, but at the same time, maybe he's thinking if there's something good in here, get it done sooner.
Yeah, when you're still missing Fire Rod, Bow, maybe an Access, Cane of Samaria, Flute in his case. Yeah, there's still a lot of key items you're looking for, so this is not a bad play whatsoever.
I think it's just a little bit awkward because up on the mountain you've got a lot more items that are a little bit more densely populated than... Well, at least I know they can skip a catfish.
Yeah. Since we got the hammer from Zora, we know that the grumpy fish in this case is going to be catfish with some cash. And since they've already seen the ledge as well, they're completely done with that area now. And we got a cape. Nothing super important, but hey, another unique item is another unique item.
Yeah, with Kohrk's health at 3, cape's not a bad thing to have now in case he needs it. Then again, he also does have the fairy in a bottle, so that might not really come into play too much. Still a nice thing to have just in case.
Oh yeah, it's nice to have, usually for once you get up toward like the Ganon fight, but it's mostly just the fact that every unique item you find, even the single arrow, makes every hint you find about something you haven't checked that much more helpful.
Dustin's on his way down to get the hook shot. So we'll see where he goes once he's done Thieves Town.
Yeah, with everything they have, it incentivizes Swamp as a full clear. But there are other options, especially since he has access to the Mire area. You could make a gamble on vanilla or French vanilla Cane of Samaria.
He doesn't have access to Mire area because he doesn't have mitts.
Oh, right, no mitt.
He can't lift the portal block. I mean, he can flute over to Desert and check a key in his cave, but that's about it right now.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that. So, Death Mountain or Swamp are really the 2 plays we had left. Question in chat. Flute was in the floor trap room inside of Skullwoods.
Did we find the map in Swamp Palace yet?
Not sure. I know we just found the. I'm not sure if we found the map yet or not. We'll probably.
We haven't found the big key yet, so. So I'm wondering if he goes back to check for potentially a one item. Unless we found the map.
Yeah, so Dustsen with a really good blind fight gets that down, picks up his first crystal.
Looks like he's also going to check powder while he's here. It's a good play.
Ooh. Ooh!
But he has the fairy.
Kohrek, yeah, got the fairy, but just taking 2 nasty body checks from Argus.
All for 5 rupees.
Yeah, so I think there's still 1 item outstanding in Swamp, because I believe between the left side and the big chest, I don't think we've got the big key, so it's the big key, the map, and something.
And decides to just leave. Hopefully that one item is not anything too important.
Odds are it's not, but all it takes is 1 item.
So with the direction he's going, looks like pyramid and then probably pod.
Yeah, pyramid and probably pod. There is an outside chance if he's still in a little bit of like paralysis about where he wants to go, he could do AGA 1 just for the hint and for the little bit of breather time.
And Dustin is indeed checking the item he skipped. And by going up the pyramid like this, it looks like he is going to do AGA 1.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. So what this is going to enable him to do, it's something he has to do anyway. It's something he can clear. There is a hint in here, and it gives him just a couple of minutes, basically mindless, you know, better than NMG action, of like, okay, where do I want to go? What strategy do I want to take?
Yeah, taking these moments to think is not a bad play. I've seen a lot of runners do that. Dustin is doing the mountain climb. Gonna go rescue the old man quickly first. So we'll see what the item dislocations here are gonna be. Old man tips you 20 bucks for rescuing him.
I mean, it's not the worst tip on a Hyrule Uber I've ever seen, but it's down there.
And that's a pretty useless hint.
But unless my eyes deceived me, I believe that was a shovel?
Yes, it was.
Alright, so Dustin's gonna get himself a fetch quest and a hint.
That's a really good hint to find.
That's an amazing hint.
So we're coming up on the AGA 1 fight. Any ideas how many blue balls he's gonna fire?
I usually say 6.
Ooh, you're going on the high end.
I mean, high end's 15, so...
Statistically, 3 I think is the usual number. There's more chances for that, so 6 is relatively high comparatively.
True.
There's 1 already on the first one we could get. I'm gonna say 4, slightly higher than average.
2 for 2 on blue balls. 3
Wow.
for 3.
Just a heart piece and arrows in first 2 chests of Paradox Cave.
Yep. Paradox upper.
4 for 4. Yeah, 4 for 4.
5 for 5. This is not good.
Well, there's the Titansmith and Mirror Shield in Paradox Cave.
Is this
And we've already hit your 6
really?
for 6.
There's our guarantee. Come on, 7. 7!
Do we have 8?
Oh my god.
Is this the dream? Ah, no.
Aww.
Still. 8 out of 9. It's pretty good. Oh, and we need bombos for Turtle Rock. The one medallion we don't have.
Alright, so if you guessed 9 blue balls, not only are you evil, you're correct. Well, on the plus side for Kohrek, we know Dustin's got a really big time sink in Aghanim's tower out of him.
Yeah, it's a good thing that the randomizer is the same for both of them, both the runners. Otherwise, that would have been evil if only one runner had to do.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Kohrek, the play here is to go to Death Mountain, pick up your mitts, and pick up the extra 6, 7 ton of locations.
Dustin's having a little bit of trouble getting to that point for the hookshot.
Holes, man. Half match.
That's not a terrible find. It's pretty handy. Otherwise, just basically heart pieces and heart container.
I didn't see what was on Floating Island, but whatever it was worth it.
Yeah, we were a bit too focused on seeing how many blue balls Kohrek was getting in Aga 1. Oh, it's the butter sword.
Yeah, it's cholesterol on a stick.
I think that's pretty worth that to go take the little bit extra time to get.
I mean, the only thing it's really going to save a lot of time on is Ganon, and it's not that much time it saves. I don't know, it's kind of like 6 one, half dozen the other. So,
you also save a little bit of time in Turtle Rock against Trinex. Not a huge amount, but... And what if you don't find Bow and Silvers before Vitreous? I'm pretty sure save a little bit more time on that.
Very true. Dustin also finding himself some new clothes. Thanks, game, for that boots hint.
At least we're not locked out of Tower of Hero, the small key, so can get hopefully both items before finishing the.
Well, they have the lamp just in case.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But still, you don't want to do the coffee break.
Oh no, you never want to do that. So I kind of like Kohrek's routing a little bit better here.
Well, I think both runners will be finished anyways.
And Hera, once again, thanks, game.
That's just telling you it's locking the small key, though, right?
Yeah, it's telling you that the small key is self-locked and that the last item is, you know, accessible.
I mean, that's handy to know. I mean, you were gonna find it anyways, but it's nice to know that that is gonna happen before you actually do it. So Moldorm should be pretty easy.
2 slashes, done.
For just a piece of heart.
But more importantly, both items and a crystal. Second one for Dustin. Second dungeon done.
Yep, and he's pretty much cleared out what he can in Death Mountain. Unless he decides to go to... Oh yeah, it looks like he might be doing Spike Cave while he's here.
Now the thing is, I don't think he's done Spiral, has he?
I didn't see that, so I don't think he did. So yeah, that'll be an interesting location left, if there's anything useful there.
Yeah, so what Kohrek can do here, and what I would expect Kohrek to do here, is Kohrek is going to drop down, check Spike, hook shot over, and then start checking up Paradox.
Yeah, that seems like a good play. We know he's only going to find a boomerang in there, but at least it doesn't leave Spiral Cave left hanging. But with those minutes, we can at least go to Mire area.
Yeah, now this is where Dustin can get his advantage. Kohrek hasn't been to Skull, doesn't have a flute.
And either to unlock Misery Mire. So he can go in, he just can't complete it without the cane. Unless it's in the welcome mat in the shed.
No, we got a book, though. And more importantly, we have full access. He can just backdoor and get 2 items out of Desert.
That's interesting. He did Spike Cave and then just left. Checking the shovel first?
Yeah, Kohrek's banking that the Titans aren't over there, and they are. That's the only logic I can see behind that.
Unique item. I think that was the cape.
Yeah, that was, I believe, the cape.
Unless there's one more on left side that he didn't check.
Always possible.
So at least Desert Palace wasn't boots locked. It's nice, pretty nice for the game.
Yeah, not a big deal since boots were a Sphere 1 anyway, but it's nice to have that knowledge anyway. Alright, so Kohrek's gonna find out really quickly here, once he gets upstairs, or downstairs, so it shall may be, that, oh, the Titans were here all along.
I mean, it wasn't a bad play. Just a little bit weird having to save and quit out, then come back here afterwards.
Yep, because everybody loves their Titans boots with a side of a lag shield.
So the Butter Sword should actually help out pretty well against Lanmo. I mean, he has Ice Rod and Half Magic, so he can get some shots out from there, but I believe it's a little bit slower than Fire Rod shots would be.
No, it's a lot slower. I can't hit... It's hard to hit anything with the Ice Rod. We saw what happened to Kohrek at Swamp Palace.
That's true. So that Butter Sword wasn't a bad pickup then for fights like this.
Oh yeah, this definitely pays off here because you can just, 2 slashes apiece, each Lanmo's dead.
And gets the Cannon Burner, so now he can go into Mire and complete it.
Yeah, that's a helpful find. Now I do want to see Dustin do Checkerboard, and I want to see him do Agana before he goes into Mire.
Yeah, that makes sense to do those first. Yep, he's going over to Checkerboard now. Oh, that was the bow.
Yeah, I think he'll go back in for that.
Yep. He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so you mirror from the Mire area in the desert to get the ability to clear Mire. Then you mirror again from this area to get the ability to clear Vidi, easily.
I mean, with no silvers, it's not as easy, but it's still pretty easy. So what did Agina have all this time? There's the Fire Rod, so we're good.
Oof.
Oh, sorry, we just need Bombos to get into Turtle Rock, but otherwise that's it.
Yeah, we're Bombos away from go mode.
And Dustin didn't leave anything in Spiral Cave, so if only they had gotten that first, then they could have done Skullwoods right off the bat once they were there.
Yeah, so it's not a required double dip of Skull because they've had access to the Fire Rod the entire time.
Well, Kohrek so far hasn't been into Skullwoods, but oh no, it would be. No, it wouldn't. Never mind. I'm thinking something else. The bow was needed for Skullwoods. But it looks like Kohrek's going to come in here and get his flute, which we know he can't complete the dungeon right off the bat.
Yeah, he can't complete it. Dustin's going to go ahead and dive into Mire here. 2 items in Mire. We know the Firelock side of Mire is nothing, and it's both dungeon items.
Yeah, so this should be a relatively quick clear. You'll have to go too close to the Firelock side just to hit the switch to unlock one chest, unless he finds both items first. Both items and the key, big key.
Well, it's a variant on Godmire. Did he already find one item?
He found no item. He found a small key in the bridge, on the bridge one, and then found the big key. I guess his thinking is go defeat the boss. If it has an item, he just needs to hunt for one more, and he can just mirror out.
Yeah, but I really don't like re-clearing that front room.
So looks like he thinks it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely understandable. If by some miracle Vidi's got Bombos, you're in go mode.
So Kohrek with his flute is like going to activate it. Probably follow along over to Desert Mire area.
Yeah, now keep in mind, Dustin does have all of the items, but he is a clear of Swamp and Aghanim's Tower, a 9 blue ball Aghanim, behind Kohrek at the moment, a dungeon completion.
Well, the thing about though is Swamp wasn't too long. He can skip all the chests, so he'll save a little bit of time that way. But you're right, the tower plus the 9 blue balls is a pretty big time sink that he has to go through.
But it looks like Kohrek's got Smith Chain on the brain.
I mean, it's not bad. You're in the area. It's a quick chest. I think they got it. No, they didn't get a hint for the purple chest. Ooh, Dustin with 1 heart. I think he still has the bottle with the fairy, though.
Yeah, he hasn't used it.
Realized he had the bow. He can just kill this a lot quicker. It had an item, but just 20 rupees. So I think the saving grace for this item chain is if he finds Bombos here, Kohrek will have a pretty good advantage.
Yeah, Dustin's gonna go ahead and nope out after 1 item in Mire. And makes what I think is probably the correct play is gonna do Pod Eastern.
I think Eastern, all the items were clear, so it's just Pod has items.
Yes, but he also has the green pendant to turn in, and he needs to clear Eastern anyway, so it'll be a really quick mirror over after clearing Pod.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, those quick Smith Chain items checked. Coming over to Desert. Forgetting to lift the rock for the portal.
$5 for the green pendant. Shasrala just chipping the exterminator.
So let's see what's in Pod. Hopefully something good. Found the hint for the dungeon he's basically already completed.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dustin's gonna have that on his mind because he hasn't been in the swamp yet.
It all depends on whether he finds Bombos before that or not.
Oh yeah, if he finds Bombos, everything's a moot point.
So I didn't notice initially, but it looks like Kohrek's doing the same thing Dustin did, which was saw the 1 item on the torch, got the big key, and figured if the boss has the last item, he's done. Which the boss did have the last item.
Yeah, even if the boss doesn't have the last item, it's not that big of a time sink to run right back into the big chest. And it's so much more of a time sink to have to...
Okay, so we know the big key in the map is on the left side, so it's just the big chest that has the item.
Yeah. That's probably the most unfortunate left side swamp hit we could have got. It would have been better if it was just a self-lock big key.
Yeah, so when Dustin, again, if Dustin doesn't find Bumbles before then, he doesn't know that last item. He'll know is in the big chest, but is it worthwhile to get the big key to then get the chest? Pretty good ice rod hits from Kohrek.
Yeah, I managed to just snipe 2 out of 3 land mows on cycle 1.
Finish it off, gets his cannon burner.
So hopefully, I know he's going to check checkerboard. Hopefully he gets into Agana as well and just gets all 3 of his high value items right here.
I don't see why not. While he's in the area, now that he saw the cane, he realizes he can pretty much clear this area, get it out of his mind.
Yeah, he'll never miss the bow. You'll always check checkerboard. But the mirror over to Agana is not one that you end up doing a lot from the mire area.
Over in Pod found an empty bottle. Nothing too useful.
Just absolutely hammering on that mirror button for the block deletion. Give me that bow.
Red mail, not too terrible of a find.
Kohrek skipping Agana.
Unless he does the dungeon first and then goes afterwards.
Does he have the hint? Yeah, okay, he has the hint. Sarashula had 5 rupees.
So far, Pod's been a pretty big bust. So I'm guessing by this point, if you were in this seed with the items that Dustin has, you would just complete dungeons until you find what you're looking for, correct? You wouldn't really search any more overworld spots?
Yeah, I'd dip what dungeons I could. There's not a lot of overworld specifically remaining outside of the tablets. And one of those is going to be easy to get to. I mean, either tablet's kind of orphaned its last location at this point, but you definitely can hit the Bombos tablet right after you do Swamp or right before you do Swamp. And
I guess the question is which you go first? Do you go Swamp or Ice first?
You go Swamp because you can check Bombos first and it's got better item density. Now, Kohrek's making the play where he's going to look for this other item.
We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, if he finds Bombos in here, I don't know how long it's going to take Dustin to come back in.
I guess the same could be said about if Bombos was in the big chest and Swamp. How long would it take Kohrek to go back in?
Absolutely true. If the Bombos is in either one of those 2 locations, it's going to be nearly insurmountable.
Just red potion.
Yep, so Dustin's clear on his gamble.
I mean, not a terrible thing. That was our 4th bottle location. Nice to have the red potion just in case. So Pod was a bust.
Yeah. So, yeah, Pod's a big bust. Now he's going to go ahead and mirror over due east. Now, the only thing that might incentivize ice that you had been bringing up a little bit is it does have the 3 hints. It could have a unique hint for somewhere that you haven't checked, but it's unlikely.
Or even narrowing down something that they've already gotten a hint for. But as Chad is pointing out, there could, I don't think we gotten a hint about pedestal yet. And logically that could be required. Bombos could be on there.
Yeah, and they can route it in really easily after doing Skull.
I know, that'd be pretty interesting. And Kohrek finishes Vitreous pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was a nice fight.
So he has the mirror. Looks like he is going to mirror into regular desert. We just have to hope he walks over to Agina's cave and not flutes out.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going. He wouldn't have walked that far out if he wasn't. Good. So Kohrek's gonna go ahead and pick up his fire rod.
So then it's just the race for Bombos.
Alright, so the question is, where's Kohrek gonna go? I expect he'll probably do the Pod Eastern combo as well. No, he wants Skull.
Skull finished that off. He has the book. Maybe he's going to read Pedestal as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have nearly synchronized Skull finishes here.
The difference is Kohrek can read what the hint is. Dustsen might just blind pull. So we have a pretty exciting race going on now.
Yeah, this is pretty close. So the differences we have here is Dustsen has EP finished, Eastern finished, and Kohrek has to finish Eastern, plus has to do all of Pod. But Kohrek's already done Swamp and has done Aghanim's Tower.
And Pod, if they find Bombos first, Pod can be a little bit faster, realizing once you get the big key, you can then just mirror out into, and then go after the boss without checking more items. Unfortunately, the big key was in the Dark Maze, so that's almost a full clear. Ooh, Dustsen's going to read the pet first. Oh no, he's going to pull. And then go into Swamp back end.
Alright, what do we have? A something of Evil's Bane. A big 20 of Evil's Bane. Throw money at Ganon, it'll totally work.
Bribe him to stop doing evil things.
Moth don't want to play nice at first, but finally gives it up. Gives 20 bucks as the second item in Skull.
So It has to either be ice or one of the tablets, then I believe.
Ice, one of the tablets, swamp big chest.
Oh yeah, the item location Kohrek forgot or left behind. Yep, so Kohrek's gonna do the Pod Eastern, so he'll sink the same amount of time that Dustsen.
Yeah, and I can't help but think that Dustin's probably gonna go swamp here. If he goes ice, he's gonna be in a very advantageous position. Possibly.
Maybe... Where is he going?
Has he not done Smith Chain yet?
He hasn't. He was a little bit confused himself. But yeah, going into Dark World here looks like Smith Chain. I mean, not a bad play, because again, if you find Bombos, then you could just go mow the other two dungeons. This probably takes
well, not only that... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say this takes a little bit less time than having a full clear swamp if you find the item you need.
Yeah, but this also combos right into Bombos and Swamp.
Yeah, I realized that also. So this is actually not a bad play in terms of routing. I think it's though a little bit awkward to get the purple chest in over there and stay in Dark World though.
It's only awkward because they've already done Cave South of Grove. Usually when you're doing this chain, you're doing your mirror spots as well. Maybe even Stumpy.
Chat's asking if Bomba's going to be on Pyramid Fairy. No, because Turtle Rock is a 5/6 crystal. So Bombos is our go mode item.
Catfish has not been checked, but Catfish, we got a hint, is just cash. That hint might play a little bit of anxiety for Kohrek, now that he knows where there is an item at.
But I often hear from a lot of runners that once they decide to skip a location, if the item is there, they realize they've basically lost, so they don't really worry about it too much after the fact, unless that's the last item location they have to find.
Yeah. Dustin also going to go ahead and route in his shovel check for 20 bucks.
Looks like he thought about fluting and then realized no, he wants to keep in Dark World to take the chest back.
Yeah, he needs to turn the chest in, that way he can mirror over to Bombos, then come back and mirror into Swamp.
So I wonder if we're going to find Vanilla Bombos.
That would just be evil.
Kohrek gets his red mail, which turns his outline to neon pink.
It's awesome.
Nope, just 20 rupees on Bombos. So now we're down to Big Chest and Swamp Palace, either Tablet or Ice Palace.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll see if Dustin goes to left side to get the big key. Probably not do it on the first entry through. Oh, he didn't even do this. Get that chest initially. That's interesting.
No, he completely skipped the dam.
I mean, I guess he realized he had to come down here anyways, and it didn't lock in any progression for him. Oh no, he got the underwater item, but he left that chest. That's really odd to see.
Yeah. And he just got his hint that catfish is off the table.
So we know Dustin got the hint saying there was a unique item in Swamp and that the big key was over on the left side. So he found a unique item. Do you think that plays into his mind, or when he gets to the end and realizes there's still an item left, would he go back in?
I know he left one in Meyer. I don't think he leaves the one in here, only because the amount of locations he has left is running dangerously low. I mean, at the time that he comes out of this, it's going to be down to, what, 5 locations?
Yeah, 3 in Swamp, Ether, and then if he didn't check the big... If he checked the big cat chest here, he'll have just the mire that he skipped.
Yeah, so if he chooses with this one and his Meyer gamble, which we know was correct, he'll have 6 locations on the table that it could be.
But it's pretty obvious he's not going to go left side initially. He's going to check all the other items first. Kohrek finishes pod, he'll mirror out to Eastern, and then they're basically... Well, Kohrek's a little bit ahead in terms of Aga 1 finished, but they'll have basically similar checks. I have a feeling he'll go to Ice Palace right now.
Yeah, he's... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say more item dense location than checking the tablets.
Yeah, he'll dip the dungeon he can finish, full clear it, and if it's not there, then he's going to go probably do Bombos, then Ether, and then finally just give up the ghost and go back to Swamp. Now, don't be fooled. Even though this is going to be like a last location bombos, this is an incredibly quick all dungeon scene.
Oh yeah, 1 hour 20, and they basically just have 2 dungeons left.
Yeah.
Well, that's why these runners are in the tournament and got pretty good seeding. They're both really good runners.
Yeah, these are both, these are both runners in the top half of just the people in this tournament. The people in this tournament themselves are, ridiculously good. I didn't quite get the spin.
So the moment of truth, does Dustin go back in for that item?
I think I hope Dustin does, because for Dustin to be perfectly honest, have a chance, he needs to come in and get that item. Otherwise, I think Kohrek's got an advantage. Nope.
It's pretty interesting, so they're both skipping it. So looks like he's going over to Ice Palace. I have a feeling Kohrek's going to be shortly behind.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a flute. They're gonna be in just right behind one another, basically.
Interesting. Kohrek's going to go buy a capacity upgrade.
Yeah, he's gonna buy arrows. He wants to fill up.
It's a nice play. Fill up his arrows, get a little bit more capacity.
Alright, so Dustin was in as a 120.50, Kohrek's in a 121.05, so 15 seconds difference entering. Most of that from Kohrek deciding to buy a couple capacity upgrades.
But knowing what we know in terms of where the item locations are, even though they look close, Kohrek has Aga 1 tower down.
Yeah, that's really where the difference in time is right now, is Kohrek having done Aga 1, which is going to be about 5 or 6 minutes. Not even that, probably just about 4.
Well, that was a long Aga 1 fight with the 9 blue balls.
Yeah. I'm a terrible judge of time, and that's how long Dungeons take in this game anyway.
I mean, it might be pretty close, but it just maybe felt longer because of that.
Did Dustin skip that hint? Is he just done with him at this point?
Looks like he tried to click on it, but missed it, so wasn't anything terribly useful anyways.
Yeah, it's just a fluent hint.
I mean, at this point, what could the hint really tell him? He knows he's limited on location.
Yeah, at this point, the only hint that you want to see as a unique item is in somewhere you haven't checked. In this case, hopefully it doesn't say Swamp Big Chest. Oh, Dustin pulls a spare. Kohrek's having some bomb jump troubles.
So first item down, 10 arrows.
Kohrek pulls himself a strike, he's coming in. Pick up his 10 arrows, Dustin's gonna go ahead and loop back around.
Slight different routing paths between the two runners. Missing the anti-fairy quite a bit. Yeah, we already knew that game.
Yeah, we already knew there was a quack dealer in Kakariko. Alright, so at this point, there's not a hint for Bombos, and there's not going to be a hint for Bombos unless it's in Turtle Rock, which would be really unfortunate.
I don't think anyone checked the hint in the dark ice rod area. There is a hint
Yeah,
tower. No one's gonna get it, but I mean,
Yeah.
there could have been a hint there.
Yeah, unless it's inverted, no one's going to Dark Shopping Mall. Unless it's like entrance rando. Second item's bombs. So Kohrek's routing's caught him back up here.
So he'll check the big chests very shortly, then head down to fight Cole.
I think he's still got to check iced tea.
Okay, missed that one.
Well,
okay.
It wasn't can locked. Alright, so Dustin's already checked iced tea.
So the question is it on Cole's there or is it somewhere else?
Well, we'll find out very soon. And these fights are going to be so close. Dustin drops in and hits the ground at 126.36.
Caught him in a corner with butter sword. Very easy kill. For the mushroom. Okay, that just added one extra item. I mean, it's a nice quick check.
Yeah, it's a flute to 2. You can fill up your bottles too.
So where does Dustin go now? Okay. That's a good play. Like you said, quick check, fill up whatever your bottles are empty.
Moment of truth.
There
it's
it is.
go mode!
So both gambling, big chest, swamp had nothing as good. It was a good game.
Oh, it was a great gamble. It turned out amazing for Dustin here. So at 127.44, Dustin enters go. Kohrek's not going to be that far behind.
So that was a pretty evil location for that.
Yeah, not only was, people say Bombos in ice is bad. Bombos behind a fetch quest in ice off Coldster is even.
I guess the advantage for them was they had basically run out of locations anyway, so it was all.
Yep, Kohrek picks his up at 128.24, so there's about 40 seconds in the go mode between the two. But Kohrek does have the Aghanim's Tower advantage.
So now Turtle Walk should be pretty quick. Once they get the needed keys, they're basically going to stop checking chests, unless they still want silvers. But these runners can obviously use silverless.
Yeah, especially with the weapons that they got.
Let's see how nice Turtle Rock is going to be. Compass for his chest.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the God Rock, unfortunately.
As long as they don't have to do vanilla big key chest. And hopefully they don't have to do anything on Laser Bridge. And there's the big key, so no vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, they're gonna be skipping that. Yeah, the big key's pretty notoriously in basic randomizer. I've found it, especially in V30, to be almost always on the roller side.
That was a nice Mario placement for the switches.
Oh yeah. And both of our runners with the swag dashes.
Dustin will steal the key here. I love that bunny spray for the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the undercover Ralph's sprite. Alright, so Dustin have to come outside in the event that they're gonna find the small key in the big chest.
Turns out, no, could have skipped it. But a nice safety play just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, this deep in, there's no way you take that risk.
Kohrek decides to.
Kohrek just deciding that I'm wrong at every turn.
So if I know my keys, this getting a key in here basically is what saves.
Yeah, because if he didn't get a key there, he goes down the laser bridge, he checks it, and then he's got no key, and it's in the big chest, and you get sad. And maybe something to do with key logic and Turtle Rock, dealing with the big key being on the side that it was.
So, but with that skip, Kohrek just got a bunch of time. They're gonna hit the boss pretty soon.
Yeah, Dustin in at 134.02. Kohrek's gonna be in about 134.16.
So he shaved a bit of that 40 seconds that he was off on. But Dustin has Dustin has a little bit quicker. At least even prevented the ice head from spilling on the ground.
Alright, and with that, I think there's a game we like to play. Ice, would you like to go ahead and describe it?
Yeah, with the last boss, we're coming up to Ganon's Tower. There's 22 chests that the big key could be in. Make your guesses in chat. We'll stop the timer once the first runner gets into Ganon's Tower, which should be Dustin. And then we'll mark, we'll count off of his. What number do you usually like?
14. It's either going to be Rando Room Bob, unless something really awkward happens in routing.
I'm going to say lucky number 7.
Alright, so we're going to give you a little bit of time here since it was TR, but once they get down toward the basement, we're going to shut you off. All right, Dustin is first in. We'll be counting off of Dustin.
Oh, nice silver find though.
Yeah, both of our owners are going to have that, so just going to make the game of fight even quicker.
And with getting a small key, both runners decided to do the right side first.
Yeah, at this point, staying and taking the same routing decisions is actually going to play into Kohrek's favor. Alright, chest number 3 is a heart container. 4 is a blue rupee. 5 is the compass. And 6 is a red rupee.
So my guess 7 will be torch. Nope, just 50 rupees.
Number 7's $50. We're going to head into Stalfos for 8 through 11. Small key. Big key!
So I believe that was number 9.
Yes, it was. And the correct answer is going to be from Sora 2K7. Congratulations. Alright, with that they find the key nearly identical, and there are about as small part as you can be coming up here.
So we'll see who has the slightly better luck in the gauntlets, who has better rumor engine.
Yeah, well, let's see how the execution plays out up here.
A little bit of trouble, but the hit on those two enemies at the same time was pretty nice. And just deciding to ether the room.
Yeah, that's a heads-up play. Kohrek's going to go ahead and clear it normal. Gets a nice silver shot, though, so they are separated by less than a room now. Now remember, Kohrek does have the AGA 1 advantage, though.
Kohrek just made a little bit of time in that room.
And is actually taking the lead through the gauntlet.
But they're pretty close.
Yeah, Dustin pretty much just bringing it back up. You're almost transitioning one room to another, screen scrolling.
Kohrek misses 2 silver arrow shots. Dustin gets both of them, or 2 out of the 3.
Yeah, he gets 1 silver arrow, and he gets the 2 sword slashes on the other. They're going to be nearly identical coming out of Lambo, too.
Now, if it wasn't for the AGA 1 difference, this would be a really interesting, close match.
Oh yeah, I'd be screaming my head off, and I'd be hype as everything. But Kohrek does have about a 4-minute advantage right now. And Kohrek's execution through this gauntlet's just incredible. Dustin, however, keeping up with it pretty much, has lost next to no time to Kohrek, which is not an easy feat.
It just goes to show why they're in the tournament.
Oh, yeah. Dustin accidentally giving us a map check.
Just to make sure he's on the correct route.
It's a big tower.
And just one more fight with Moldrum too. Pretty easy fight.
Yeah, Moldrum giving the Kohrek, not want to give it that second hit, but it finally does.
No reason to check his possessions chest. He has his silvers, he has everything he needs.
Yeah, they've got legitimately everything they could ask for and know where everything else. Dustin, however, wants to see just in case, and it is a little bit of love. Alright, Kohrek coming into Aga 2, which he knows cannot be as bad as Aga 1.
Yeah, I don't think anything can be as bad as Aga 1. I mean, technically it could have been, but that was pretty bad. Although this is taking a bit longer than usual.
Alright, Kohrek cleaning up, and he's going to be dropping into his Aga fight. Bird swoops him away at 142.22.
Even though Dustin still has Aga 1, this wasn't a bad routing decision. He'll be in position to basically mirror kill Aga 1, get a heart refill, and then go into his again and fight.
Yeah. So Dustin visually coming out of Aga 2 was about 20 seconds behind, but now we have that 4-minute climb through Aga 1.
And nice use for cape strats to basically just hit Ganon down.
Yeah, as long as you're slashing, it doesn't drain nearly as bad, plus half mag.
He also has a blue potion handy. He was well geared for this.
Yeah, we found him. Kinda hard to miss him. And arrow 4, and down goes the pig. We just got a bridge.
Kohrek is finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1:44.
Yeah, GG's to Kohrek. Well played.
Dustin's coming up on his end to the Aga climb. So we'll get to watch another 9-ball Aga 1 fight.
Yeah. Aga was not friendly at all today.
And we're joined by our winner, Kohrek. GG, Kohrek.
Thank you, GG.
So how about that ice rod? Sorry, the bombos. Locked behind Ice Palace Mushroom.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, it didn't feel that bad. What felt bad was I got done with Skull Woods and I forgot to check the pedestal. So after I got done with Pod, I'm like, and then I, go through Ice Palace and didn't get it until afterwards. But once I found it, it's like, well, I guess you had to do everything this seed anyway. So let's just go finish it up.
Yeah, it was pretty late check, but Dustin ended up actually blind pulling the pedestal because at that point he had finished all the pendant dungeons. Realized it was only $20.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just went to Skullwoods first because I could, it wasn't going to take long to finish it, and there was still an item there. So you could have done, Pod and Eastern first after that. I mean, I guess it just depends if you get that Gina Fire Rod early. Like, that could have been the story of the seed if it wasn't for that Bombas,
Yeah, for sure. So one person in chat was asking, what was your decision to do Ega 1 so early?
Oh,
And
that was pretty easy. So Zora had the hammer, and then I forget which dungeon it was, maybe Swamp Palace, but there was a hint that a Grumpy Fish had cash, so that meant that I didn't have to go to Catfish. So normally I would want to route Catfish in with the Pyramid, but at that point, Pyramid was just an isolated location, and I had finished Swamp Palace, so I had a isolated location that I could just get right out of the way. And when you check the Pyramid and you have Mirror and it's all dungeons, it makes sense to just do Aga.
And then another one was asking, how'd you feel about that nine blue ball Aga 1 where it was 8 in a row?
I mean, it feels bad, but then it's like, well, everybody gets the same, so whatever. But man, that's silly.
Yeah, Dustin just got through that one, and he's into Ganon right now. So overall, how'd you feel about that seed? Like, for an all dungeons, 144 seems like a pretty good time, despite having to clear so much of the overworld and clear pretty much everything you encounter.
Yeah, I got most of the travel items pretty early, and there wasn't really much required backtracking, so it was pretty good seed. It just took a while to get into go mode, that's all. So there was a couple dungeons that I full cleared that, I would have liked to not full clear, but it happens.
Yeah, we were wondering for a while about that Swamp Big Chest that you had left behind. Luckily, there was nothing.
Yeah, since I went into Swamp as early as I did, and I was still missing the big key, and there was only one item left, I just wasn't going to go back in. I had all of Death Mountain yet. I had a lot left. So one item for like 2 minutes didn't seem like a good decision right there.
Yeah, especially when you got that hint afterwards saying that the big key was in the left side with the map, so you knew it was in the big chest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Dustin finishes with an official time of 1:48:55. We'll see if we can get him in here.
Yeah, pretty close race. Just 4 minutes, 44 seconds all around. So also, Kohrek, with that win, that puts you locked in for brackets.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy. This is a tough group. The top three grouping placements here: Weighty Words, Dustin, Lunchtime, and myself. Like, I feel like any two of us could have advanced in this tournament, like with a really high chance. So coming out of here, it feels good.
That's awesome. So it looks like if you got one race left, who's your last race going to be up against?
I still have one race with Lunchtime.
Nice. So yeah, the seed itself was pretty interesting. The really big stories of it was just, you had just as always, your execution, your routing. Dustin did have a much earlier flute from having a super early Skullwoods dip, but other than that, it was really just pretty well neck and neck. I mean, the 4 minutes, it's just an indication of how close that actually was for being all dungeons. It did seem, though, Kohrek, for a little while, like you were just trying to put off East Death Mountain for as long as possible. Was there any thoughts to that?
I mean, I don't think that was the case. It's just there was always regions of the world to full clear, and you know, the myths ended up being on East Death Mountain, but you know, you can't full clear East Death Mountain until you have the myths. But yeah, I could do the whole West Death Mountain. I could do, you know, all of Village of Outcasts for the myth stuff. I could do all of Swamp Palace. So there was just always other things I could do where I could guarantee a full clear. So that's what I generally focus on, especially in all dungeons.
Just seeing now 160 item clear. It's actually relatively lower than I was thinking initially.
We got to skip a ton of Turtle Rock and a lot of GT Basement, so that's still a pretty... we did... I think both of us probably did pretty much everything. I skipped the left side swamp and the tablets, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Dustin ended up getting Bombo's tablet, skipping one check in Meyer, check in Swamp Palace, the same Swamp Palace, and then the Ether tablet. Yeah, Dustin, once he found the big key in Misery Mire, went straight to the boss and didn't go back for that second item.
Alright, we should be getting joined by Dustin here in just a minute. And sure enough, Dustin has joined us. GG, Dustin. Well played.
Thank you.
GG.
GG.
So, what'd you think of that seed overall?
It wasn't too bad, I would say. I liked it, actually. And I didn't think I was that far behind.
No, you ended up 4 minutes behind. That's in all dungeons like this. I was pretty close. You both basically full cleared as much as you could. I think you left 3 items before finding the Bumbo.
Yeah, I think it was Ether, Spiral Cave, and Misery Mire item.
Sorry, 4 items then. I completely forgot you didn't check Spiral Cave. You also left the big chest in Swamp Palace.
Yes, yeah.
You didn't miss much in Misery Mire. Kohrek ended up getting that. It was just a red potion in a bottle.
Yeah, I felt like yeah, Misery Mire gave us basically the God Mire, so why not just go through? And yeah, that was my decision making in this case.
Yeah, it was a good play and it ended up working out for you. Yeah, if it wasn't for the Ega 1 after, when you guys were climbing Ganon's Tower, you were basically neck and neck. It's just, as commentators, we knew that Dustin still had to do Ega 1. Otherwise, that would have been a lot more close of a fit.
Yeah, I thought like, yeah, it's easier to do it after I did the Ganon Tower. I just have the mirror and stuff, but yeah. It didn't work out too well for me.
How did you feel about the 9 blue balls in AGA 1 with 8 of them happening in a row?
Yeah, that is. I thought, oh no, do I get the max blue ball troll now? But yeah, I mean, he would get the same, so.
Yeah, it wasn't an advantage or disadvantage for either player. It was just sort of amusing to see that you had 8 in a row, and we were wondering if we were going to get the Dream 50.
Yeah, I feared I would be stuck here now for as long as he finished, but I think when I entered, he actually pressed the finish button, but did the dot done? I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah, it was about that because, like I said, you're about maybe 10 seconds behind finishing AGA 2. So when he dropped in to do again, and you were basically just going to mirror to start the climb.
Oh, okay.
So, how about that loaded Light World desert area?
Yeah, that was fun. I had to look twice when I saw the bow. What? Was it just a bow? Wait a minute. Yeah, it really was the bow. So I was quite happy to find that, and the firework right afterwards.
Was there any kind of anxiety from either of you after realizing that, you know, Sphere 1 Agana the entire time had the fire rod?
I mean, for me, it was, well, if I found that early, I would have had the flute earlier, but it didn't really block anything else, so no, not a big deal.
Yeah, it was convenient for my routing since, yeah, I did a good routing, so to speak. I had good chains, but yeah, I think I did too much overworld. But the routing overall was actually working out pretty fine for me.
Yeah, you guys had a great race overall, and it was really fun to watch. Thank you both for running for us. It was a great bit of entertainment, not just for us commentating, but for everybody watching it. So, Dustin, do you have any more races lined up coming forward?
I have tomorrow about the same. No, 1 hour later against Radiwords. That's gonna be a tough one as well. But yeah, I think I have only 3 games left in the group. So yeah, I need to figure out the other 2 races when I can do them.
Well, best of luck to both of you in your races going forward from here. Wish you all the best. Do you guys have any other final thoughts on the seed before we start wrapping up?
I just want to say thanks to you guys for commentating, and thanks everybody out there for watching, and thanks Dustin for the great race.
I can only agree to that.
Alright, well, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We've got more randomizer action coming at you later today. I think they got a race going over on 4, right? Also, make sure to give both of these runners a follow, as well as my co-com, Iceman1, and definitely our tracker Mind of Me. Both of them doing a great job here. If you feel like throwing me one as well, so be it. Also, follows to Speed Gaming 1 through 6, LTTPR 1 to 5, where you're going to find all your randomizer action here for the tournament, as well as other tournaments, all kinds of video game tournaments. You know, marathons, we got SNES Superstar still going on the Prime. And, you know, just everybody take care and have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there was a race that just started at an ALTTPR, Speed Gaming 4 at 12:30, so it just started. We also have a doubleheader on ALTTPR 1, and then at 2:30 we have another race on ALTTPR 2. So quite a bit of Zelda tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, thank all of you for watching and joining us here for this great race. Go over, check out the rest of them races, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good afternoon.